Hello there. I hope you enjoyed our last video of prime factor methods, and in today's video we will try to find out highest common factor, that is HCF, or greatest common divisor, or simply called as GCD in this video. But before moving ahead, do it really has any real life application also? Yes, of course. Let's consider 3 ribbons given to you and they all have different length. Now you have to cut these ribbons with maximum length and in equal parts, so that once you cut them nothing will be left over. So at this condition, what do you think what can be done? Any idea? Yes, of course, say thanks to HCF, and that is why learning HCF is important. So solving some practical sums, HCF has many real life applications. So let's try to find out these HCF by 3 methods. Drum roll please. Yes. And these are the 3 methods of finding the HCF. And very first method that we are gonna learn today is nothing but by observation method. So let's begin with it. So here is the first sum. The number 12 and 60 are given to me, and just by observation I need to find what is the HCF or GCD of them. Now right now, very first, which is the smallest number of these two? It's 12, right? And you know, if you say the table of 12, we get 12 5s are 60, right? And once this happens, then you can say that 12 is the HCF of 12 and 60. Okay. Now consider one more number added to this group, that is 6. And now I need to decide which is the HCF of this. The way we decided, first of all, see which is the smallest number. Presently this is 6. And now in 6 table, do we get 12? Yes, we get 12. Do we get 60? Yes, we get 60. And when this situation appears in front of you, we can say the smallest of them is nothing but the HCF for them. But the condition is the remaining 2 number should appear in that table. Okay. So let's try a few more sums. Here are the questions in front of you. And now the very first thing that we need to check, which are the smallest number among them. So for 13 and 39, which is the smallest number? 13, yes. And in 13's table, we get 39. That is 13 3s are. And what can we say? 13 is the HCF, right? Just by observation, just looking at them. So can you guess what can be the HCF for the 125? Yes, 25 is the smallest. And of course, in the 25's table, we get 25 for the 100. And that's why 25 is the HCF. Now, is there any idea when 3 numbers are there, what can be the HCF? What we need to check? We need to check the smallest number. Among over here, 7 is the smallest, and remaining 2 numbers, that is 14 and 21, are present in the 7's table. So we can say 7 is the HCF, being the number whose table is useful for us to get the number 14 and 21 in it. Correct? And this is what we get by observation method. And after that, we have some prime factor methods to help us to find out the HCF. And if you have really understood my previous video of finding prime factors, then this method will be the easiest method for you. So let's begin with it. So boys and girls, here is the question on your screen, and as the name suggests, we need to find the prime factors of these both the numbers to find the GCD. Okay, but the one thing you need to keep in mind, that we need to choose such a prime number which will divide these both the numbers, 24 also and 36 also. Okay, so if you remember the divisibility test for 2, 3, 5, 7 and so on, then it is the best part for our lesson. Presently over here, both 24 and 36 are even number, so they can be divisible by 2. And if you add the digits in these numbers, you will come to know that the sum of the digits in these both the numbers is such a way that it is divisible by 3. So first one, 24, 4 plus 2, answer is 6. So you get the 6 is there in the table of 6, in the 3. And 3 plus 6, if you add, you will get the answer 9, which is also present in the table of 3. So what we are going to do, we are going to divide these both the numbers by 3. Okay. So here, and when you divide this 24 by 3, you get the answer 8. Correct? And when 36 is divided by 3, you get the answer 12. Okay. Now let's try and check for 8 and 12. Again, we have to check such a number which will divide both 8 and 12, and the number should be prime. Okay. So 8 and 12 being both even number, we can divide them by 2. Yes. And here is 2. And if you divide 8 by 2 we get the answer 4, and whereas when you divide 12 by 2 we get the answer 6. Okay, so again we get both the numbers even, so again we can use 2, yes, and when you divide that 4 by 2 we get the answer 2 itself again, and when 6 is divided by 2 we get the answer 3. Now we are at the end of the sum almost. Now numbers left or numbers with us are 2 and 3. These both the numbers are prime numbers. They are not present in one and the same table, so my sum is done. So here 2 and 3 we have to stop there because they are not present in one table. Okay, and so the numbers which are on left side, okay, that is 3, 2, 2, are nothing but the important number for me to find the HCF. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a simple statement. HCF of 24 and 36 is nothing but the multiplication of all these three numbers. 3 into 2 into 2, that gives me the result 12, and here we are with the answer. Now if you observe this 12, if you know the table, okay, the 24 and 36, both the numbers are present in the table of 12, and 12 is the highest number. In which another question, here the question is in front of you. Question has 3-digit numbers. First one is 777, second one is 315, and next one is 588. Okay, so what you are going to do, we will find a number whose table all these three numbers are present, correct? Now if you observe or analyze the question very carefully, you will come to know that the first number itself is divisible by 7, correct or not? Yes. Okay, so what we are going to do, we will try to see that whether remaining two numbers 315, okay, and 588 are divisible by 7 or not. And if you do our regular division the way we are doing it, you will come to know that yes, these 315 and 588, both the numbers are divisible by 7. Okay, but how I started, I got the clue with the help of first number, that is 777. Okay, and then I moved on, then I gave some trials to check that whether remaining two numbers are divisible by 7 or not. Okay, so let's move on. So we are going to divide these all numbers by 7. Okay, and when you divide first number by 7, you get the answer 111. Okay, easy one. And now the moment you divide 315 by 7, how are we gonna get our answer? Okay, so first two numbers of 315 are nothing but 31. Okay, so less number than 31 which is present in the table of 7 is 28, that is 7 4s are 28, right? So that makes 3 as a remainder, and 3 and the last units place 5 makes 35, and 7 5 are 35. So we get the answer 45 over there, okay, as a question. Now it's time to divide 588 by 7, and the least number, nearest least number than 58, which is present in the 7, which is that one. 7 7s are 49, 7 8s are 56. Yes, so we are going to use 7 8s are 56, and the moment you do subtraction, you will come to that we are left with 2. That 2 and units place number 8 which makes it 28, and when you divide it, we get the number 84. Okay, fine. Now it's time to see that all these numbers 111, 45 and 84 must be present in same number, or must be present in the table of same number. Okay, and that too should be prime number. If you observe these numbers and add the digits in them, you will come to know that their sum in all these three numbers is in such a way that they are divisible by 3. Okay, so of course we are going to utilize that divisibility test to check it. Okay, and you will come to know that you will find it that these numbers are divisible by 3. Okay, so the moment you divide this 111 by 3, how much is the answer left? First two numbers are 11, so we will use 3 3s are 9. Okay, and then for the division results is 7. Okay, so 45, I know that 15 3s are 45. Okay, so that gives us quotient 15, and when 84 is divided by 3, we get the answer 28. Okay, now if you observe the bottom layer, okay, so you will find that 97 is a prime number. That means these three numbers 97, 15 and 28 will not be present in one and the same table, correct? And that's why we have to stop here, because these three numbers are not present in one and the same numbers table. Okay, and that should be prime. Okay, so we are left with only two numbers in the LHS, that is 7 and and that's gonna make our HCF. And if you multiply these numbers 7 and 3, we get the HCF 21, and that's what we needed. Isn't it easy, guys? Correct? So I hope I made some sense to you all. Okay, do not forget to remember divisibility test. Okay, and if you want, I have already made one video for that. You can go on visit the channel so that you can come to know that test. Okay, so next number is 40, 60, 75, and this is the most easiest question I can say, because all the numbers, see, if you check the units place, we are there with the 0 and 5, and whenever 0 and 5 is there in the units place, that means these numbers are divisible by 5. Okay, so when you divide 40 by 5, 40, 60 and 75, correct, by 5, how much we get the answer? Okay, first, so when you divide 40, we get the answer 5 at the 40. Okay, when you divide 60 by 5, we get the answer 12, and when you divide 75, you get the answer 15. And now we are left with 8, 12 and 15 as our bottom layer. Okay, so if you observe these numbers, you will find that 8, 12 and 15 are not present in one and the same table. Okay, they are not even, so not divisible by 2. If you add the total, 8 is not there in the table of 3. Okay, 7 and 5 also, they are not present in the 5's table. And if you go on checking, you will come to know that these numbers are not present in one and the same table, and that's why we have to stop here, and only 5 which is left as our LHS. Okay, on the LHS of the structure, you can say 5 is the HCF of 46. Boys and girls, keep it in mind, we have to always choose such a number which will divide all the numbers which are present or which are there in the question. Okay, now let's move on, and here we are with the another question, that is 57, 75 and 102, and as our rule says, we have to choose such a number which will divide all these three numbers. Correct? If you observe and add the digits in the number, you will come to know that their sum is in such a way that it is divisible by 3 according to the divisibility test of 3. Okay, so 7 plus 5 gives you the answer 12. 7 plus 5 again gives you the answer 12, and 102, 1 plus 0 plus 2 gives you the answer 3. That's why these all numbers are divisible by 3. And let's move on. When you divide 57 by 3, we get the answer 19. Okay, that's a prime number, don't forget it. 75 when divided by 3, we get the answer 25, and when 102 is divided by 3, we get the answer 34. Do not forget, if you find any difficulty in division, go with the regular division. There is no need to do it in mind. And here we are with the bottom layer along with the prime number in it, that is 19, and so we can say we have to stop there, because these all three numbers 19, 25 and 34 are not present in one and the same table, and that too should be the prime, right? So we are left with 3 in the LHS, and that is going to make our HCF. Correct? And easy peasy one only. So boys and girls, this is the next question on your screen. Yes, this is a very special question. This question will give you a clear insight that why we must learn the tables, okay, or by heart them. If you observe these two numbers, they are not divisible by 2, both the numbers, because one is odd number, that is 105 over here, and they are not divisible by 3 also, because 154, if you add the digits, you get the answer 10. They are not divisible by 5 also, because 154 do not have 0 or 5 in the units place as per the divisibility test of 5 says. Okay, so not 2, not 3, not 5, then which is the next prime number? That is 7. Yes, and the moment you think about 7 and you know the table, you will clearly get an idea that 105 is divisible by 7, or because it is present in the table of 15. 15 sevens are 105. That means if you divide 105 by 7, you get the answer 15. Okay, so 105 is divisible by 7. So now we have to try whether 154 is also divisible by 7 or not. Then what can be done? Okay, if you observe first two digits over here, that is 15, right? So 7 2s are 15 can be utilized, 7 2s are 14 can be utilized, right? So this 15 and 14, if you subtract, the remainder is 1, and that 1 and 4 at last will make again 14. So we can say 154 is also divisible by 7, because the moment you divide it, you get the answer 22. Okay, so when 105 is divided by 105 there is divided by 7, we get the answer 15, and when 154 divided by 7, we get the answer 22, as I explained to you. Okay, now check this 15 and 22, are they present in the one and the same table? Nope. If you observe them, 15 and 22, they are not present in the same table, because 22 is present only in, I guess, 4 table of 1. That is okay. Any number can be present in table of 1, 22 itself, and then 22 is present in 2 and 11, correct? 2 11 are 22, and 2 and 11 are not dividing this 15, so we have to stop here because both the numbers are not there in the same table, and that makes our 7 over here in the LHS the main answer for our question. And this is very easy peasy one, because we got only one layer of the question and then sum is done. Okay, so here we are with the HCF, that is 7 for us. The next question is over here on your screen. Yes, again a special question. Try to memorize what I'm going to tell you now, or I'm going to instruct you. These two numbers are the consecutive numbers or successive numbers. That means 56, 57, one after other. Okay, these numbers are called as co-prime numbers, because the moment you find the divisors of them, you find only one as a common factor. Okay, so at this time, or at this situation, okay, the HCF of these two numbers will always be 1, because these two numbers are not present in any of the other number, any other same number actually. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to divide this 56 and 57 by 1, and that gives us the result 56 and 57 itself again, according to the rule. And why is this happening? Because 56 and 57 are co-prime numbers. So whenever you come across with the co-prime numbers and you know them, they are co-prime, then of course you have to write their HCF as 1. Okay, and if you are not able to find any number which is dividing the given numbers, and you are at the first layer of the question, okay, that is the first layer, 56 over here, 57 over here, first layer. Okay, so at that time you have to use 1 itself, and then the sum will get over, and the 1 will be the HCF for that number. So keep it in mind, take it as a rule that HCF or the GCD of a co-prime numbers is always 1. So here is one more pair of the co-prime number for you, 16 and 27. If you try harder and harder, even then you are not able to find the same number which will divide 16 and 27, because they are co-prime number, and that make their HCF as 1, likely that we got for 56 and 57 also. Okay, so I think I made very clear to you all that for the co-prime number, the HCF will always remain 1. Okay, so we have completed 2 methods. First, by observation, the way I told you, the smaller numbers table, bigger number should be present. Prime factor methods, we just learned them now, and we are gonna head towards the division method present. Okay, so what happens in the division method? So here's a question for you. Find the HCF of 525 and 275 by division method. Okay, so very first we have to decide which is the smallest number among them, 275, and this 275 will be taken as divisor and 525 will be taken as dividend, and we have to go for the division method. Okay, so how to divide? This is a special division. This is not the regular division that we find that we usually do. Okay, what we do, very first, which is the smallest and nearest number in the table of 275 over here for 525, that is oneza itself. Okay, so the moment you use oneza, then we have to subtract 275 from 525, and what is the result? We get 250, and now this 250 will act as divisor. Okay, and 275 over here will be taken as dividend. So always keep it in mind, we just divide once, whatever the remainder we get, like 250 we got over here, okay, that will be taken as a divisor then, and the previous divisor, that is 275, then will be taken as dividend for that 250. Now again start division. For in the 250s table, which is the nearest and smallest number for 275, that is oneza itself again. So again we took oneza. Again we are going to subtract 250 from 275, and what we are left with? 25. And now this 25 will act as divisor, and 250 over here will be taken as dividend, the way I have taken. Okay, now if you check the numbers now, in 25's table I find tens are 250, correct or not? Yes. So of course my sum will get over, and the moment I get the 0 as a remainder, that is the most important part. Okay, the moment you get the remainder as a 0, then the divisor by which, keep it in mind, the divisor by which, here it is 25, will be taken as HCF. Understood? So 25 over here, with the help of which I got the remainder 0, will be considered as HCF for this 525 and 275 over here, and that makes our final answer. HCF of 275 and 525 is 25. Okay, so what is the technique over here? First of all, that divisor of the first layer will be taken as dividend, and the remainder of the first layer, that is 250 over here, will be taken as a divisor then. So 275, which was the divisor over there, it was taken as dividend, and then again I carried out the division, and in this manner you have to go on until you get the answer 0. And the moment you get the answer 0, then that divisor, keep it in mind, that divisor presently over here 25 will be taken as HCF for those two numbers. Clear? So this is a division method. This is the best way to find the HCF. I like it a lot. Just mention it in comment section below which method you liked it a lot. Don't say observation method, because it is the easiest method. Okay, now let's try one more side. Suppose now what is the use of this method actually, division method? Why do we find this by division method when we know prime factor method? Okay, sometimes it becomes very handy to utilize this because we are asked questions like this, correct? Write the reduced form of 275 and 525. So at that time, what is the best way? Find the HCF of 275 and 525 over here by division method in easiest possible manner. You get the answer 25, and then this 25, the HCF one, okay, will be utilized as common divisor for both of them. So I'm gonna reduce this 275 upon 525 by dividing this both the numbers, that is numerator and the denominator, by 25, and you get the answer 11 upon 21, and that's what we needed. So whenever you get the question like write the reduced form, okay, and the fraction is given, you find the HCF first by division method, use that HCF to reduce the fraction then. Okay, that is the best way. And if you know the numbers, see, if the numbers are smaller, we can go ahead directly, but the numbers are bigger, then it is best way to find the HCF first. Okay, so let's try one more sum presented. So over here, I'm gonna combine the question now. Find HCF by division method first, and then reduce this fraction. Okay, so what sir said you to check? First of all, the one which is the smallest number among these two will be taken as divisor. So which is the divisor present over here? 76, right? So here is the division structure. Now, so which is the nearest and the smallest number in the table of 76 considering 133? So what we get? Again 1 za. Okay, so the moment we took 1 za, that means we have to subtract 76 from 133. We get the remainder as 57. Now this 57 will be acting as divisor for the next group. Okay, and what will be the dividend? Any guess? Yes, the 76 will be taken as dividend for the next question. Okay, next layer actually. Now in the 57th table, do we get 76 or do we have any nearest number to it? Any idea? Yes, of course we are going to take 1 za again. Okay, most of the time we are getting the answers 1 za, 2 za only. Okay, most of the time, not every time. The moment you do the subtraction the way we are doing in the division, I'm left with 19. Now this 19 over here will be acting as divisor, and the 57 will be taken as dividend. Okay, always keep it in mind, the previous divisor is taken as dividend. So previous divisor is 57, so will be taken as a dividend. And the moment I say the table of 19, I find that in 19's table 3 za, we get the answer 57, and that makes our remainder 0. And the moment we get the remainder 0, that is aha, voila moment. Okay, because this 19 over here will be considered as HCF because 0 is there in the remainder, correct? And that is our final answer. Okay, now as we got the answer 19 as HCF, now it is time to reduce the fraction. Okay, the reduction tells us that we have to divide this numerator and denominator both by 19, correct, as they have HCF 19, right? So divided by 19, what do we get? 19 4 the 76 and 19 7 the 133. And the way I told you, you must learn the table of 13, 17, 19 carefully and memorize them. So like this sums becomes very easy if you know the table. Okay, so as we got the answer, so we can say the 76 upon 133, the fraction is reduced to its simplest form, that is 4 upon 7. Stay tuned, boys and girls, and if you have any difficulty or the problem, you can drop it down in the comment section below. I will try to solve it, not immediately but definitely. See you soon. Bye bye.